This is the best I've ever felt in a very long time. I don't feel weighed down. I don't feel like I'm drowning in stuff, or I don't feel overwhelmed. And this is all in spite of the fact that I am being evicted. I'm moving out of my apartment tomorrow because I failed to make a payment I was supposed to make yesterday. So I've breached a court order that I signed. I tried to make the payment, but it was $2,000. Like, I just restarted my business like a couple of weeks ago, my life insurance business, and I've also started lightly a bookkeeping business. Neither one of those things is like an immediate, oh, you're making $2K in a week. You know what I mean? So, plus I've also started pre-work for a tech program that I am in the admissions process for. I'm learning Python. So I'm hoping that by the end of the year, I will be done with that course and have my certifications and shit like that. So I'm excited to start over. I also still plan to run for mayor in this city next year. So it's a lot of things. So I'm excited to rebuild from the ashes. And I wanted to take this opportunity to explain what I have been going through for the past 15 years in an analogy that I wrote in my journal yesterday. Okay, so when I was 18, I moved onto a college campus and was away from home for the first time. When I moved into that all-girls res hall, I had a foundation. It was not a good one, as I suffered emotional neglect throughout my childhood and was parentified quite a bit. But it was a foundation nonetheless. Anyway, there's still shit stuck in my eye. I woke up like an hour ago. Anyway, during that first year of college, I built my house on that foundation. Now, as all adults probably know, you cannot build a house on a terribly constructed foundation. It's never going to sit right, if you will. But at 18, I didn't know this and built the house out of survival anyway. Keyword survival there. Over the years, I changed things about my house in an effort to make myself more comfortable. Changed the bedroom decor a million times, planted a garden out front, added cool kitchen appliances, added a bedroom when I welcomed my baby girl into the world, etc., etc. But the one part of the house that I never changed and never touched was the living room. It actually never occurred to me that I needed to touch anything there. The things in that space in my house had always brought me comfort and allowed me to get by as I aged. I thought that changing my bedroom, planting a garden, and adding cool kitchen appliances to my kitchen were meaningful signals of growth and maturity, indicators that I was leveling up. It wasn't until the fire started last week that I finally started to understand the root of the problem. Last week, I hit this massive wall. The way I had been living my life for the past 15 years wasn't working its magic anymore. My usual coping strategies were rendered useless. So, my house started going up in flames, room by room, while I was still in it. For the past week, I've been living in a burning home. I retreated to my living room, and I watched every room get engulfed, and then I was surrounded by flames. But there was a path clear for me to leave my house. I had to decide to cling to my old living room or leave the burning house altogether and let the living room go with it. I'm here today to say that I chose the latter. I'm still here and I'm thankful. Clinging to that living room did me no good, and now I'm being presented with an opportunity to build anew. I have some work to do on the foundation before starting the new home construction. It'll be hard work, but it'll be worth it. I spent all day yesterday crying and mourning the loss of my old house. I'm thankful that it got me this far. The home that I built at age 33 and 34 is going to be deliberately and slowly planned and constructed and battle tested to max capacity. The work starts today. Yesterday, I was resting. So, like I said, I wrote that analogy yesterday. I planned to read it yesterday, which is why I had to switch the words around a bit. But maybe you understand, right? I will go ahead and explain part of it. So obviously the living room, that is old shit that I have to let go of. So we got hyper independence, fear of failure, feeling like I have to something to prove to people, using my ADHD as a crutch, even though I know that is a serious sort of like disability. I will say that I've not done really much anything to try to work with it. You know, I let the ADHD wave bowl me over more often than not. So using my ADHD as a crutch slash cop out, self-doubt regarding almost everything I do, literally having zero evidence that I can't do something, but assuming that I can't do it anyway. And then having to change everything overnight, feeling like I can make the change like that all or nothing stuff. So all these things, plus a few more that I can't think of right now, those things represent my living room. Those are things, all of these things are things that I arrived to college holding very close to my chest. And when I built my house, it's what I made my living room out of. And it's what I built my house around, basically. Everything else in my house changed. And so those changes that I mentioned in the analogy were basically my life achievements, graduating from college, going to graduate school. The kitchen appliances that I added to my house were just, you know, me moving, me getting my first boyfriend. Blah, blah, blah. It just represented all the stuff that I thought meant that I was growing as a woman and maturing and learning what I needed to learn. But meanwhile, all these things were changing, but my living room, I was still hyper independent. I still had a fear of failure. I was undiagnosed with on the ADHD front until I was like 31 or so. And the self-doubt, all of that was present the entire time. But I thought I was moving because I had moved. I changed this, became a mother, added a room, you know, all this stuff. I wasn't doing the actual work necessary to move forward as a person. And so it's no surprise that I ended up in the spot that I'm in now. That's why I'm excited, because now I know what I have to do. So the house that I built at 18, I mourned it yesterday, like I said. And I'm thankful for it because it got me to where I'm at today. But I am 33 years old, and I'll be 34 at the end of the year. I don't think that my house will be complete by the time I'm 34, because that's why I said the house that I build at age 33, 34 is going to be basically completely different than the house I built at 18. And of course it would. You realize how much like life experience I have? If I met my 18-year-old self, I don't think that she would recognize me. Maybe. I don't know. I'd have a lot to tell her. You know what I mean? I just have so much knowledge now, so much wisdom and, again, life experience. So the house that I build at this age is going to be one that I intend to embrace, but also not be afraid to change. I think that that's going to be the biggest difference, is the house that I build at this age is going to be, like I said, slowly and deliberately planned. And if I, you know, do an audit of my life and I determine that something has to change, it's going to change. There's not going to be any parts of this house that I'm building that I'm going to hold on to very fiercely. That's not how life is supposed to go. I think especially at a young age, I think that the audits that you do in your life as a young person are very important, because the more you hold on to stuff from your childhood, the harder your adult life is. And so that's why I'm going through the things I'm going through. Yeah, these things are hard. Getting evicted, having to move back in with my mom temporarily, starting over. I have a master's degree in criminal justice, but you just heard me say that I'm going into tech. I'm taking a tech program. Like, I'm in a tech program. I had to do a lot to get over the fact that I'm most likely not going to be anything criminal justice related as a job, even though I have advanced knowledge on that subject. So, so starting over at this age, again, is nothing to be ashamed of. I'm excited about it. But I hope that the analogy that I shared was helpful. I'm actually going to write it out, because I was thinking about starting like a blog or something. But I'll write it out and put a link to it at some point in the description of this video or something. I'm assuming I can edit the description after I post this. I'm new to YouTube. I really don't. New to posting on YouTube, not watching, obviously. So I don't know if I can do that, but hopefully I can. But I plan to spend a lot of time on YouTube content this summer. Obviously this most likely will be the last video I post in this apartment, so I'm moving tomorrow. I don't have an idea of how often I'm gonna post, but I definitely am gonna be documenting heavily the last 6 months of the year, just to show the comparison, because I'm literally in the dirt right now. I have no money. My hair is a mess. That's why I have a scarf on. And I'm moving in with my mom tomorrow with my daughter. So life is going to look really different over the coming months. And I keep saying, I am excited about it. I'm excited to get to live as my actual self and not the performative version of me that has been holding everything up out of survival. At this moment in time, there is not anything that I'm holding up. I'm not holding up anything. I'm just existing right now in this little blip of time, and it feels really good, despite how the world is going, specifically this country. But anyway, oh, I forgot to mention the things I have to accept. So these are going to be the things in my living room of my new home. Basically, these are they're just the complete opposites of the things that I had to let go up in flames in my old house. So the things I have to accept is help. I have to accept help, as well as not be afraid to ask for help. And what comes with that is me learning to trust people, especially people that are in my life and have been for a very long time. Not feeling like I can't ask them for help is a signal of me feeling like I have to earn safety and trust, when I think I've already earned those things with these people because of our relationship. So it should not be something hard for me to ask for help. So I have to accept help. I also have to accept that big changes will take time. I cannot do things overnight. And that anything worth having, it takes a minute to get. I also have to accept that doing nothing will delay the changes. I could talk about what I want, all I want to. But if I'm not making actual concrete steps towards doing those things, even if it's small steps, if I am not moving toward it at all, those things are never going to happen. And so it's useless to talk about it if I'm not actually moving toward it. The fourth thing I have to accept is that I'm not naturally good at everything, but I have the capacity to learn. So I said previously I'm learning Python. There's like pre-work I have to do for this program that I'm in or trying to get into. And I'm giving myself grace. I'm a quick learner. And that's where I previously was getting psyched out at. So I'm a quick learner. So I forget because I haven't put myself in quick learner situations all that much in the past or all that much lately. So I forgot that even though I'm a quick learner, there's still failure that happens there. I just maybe fail less than the average person would because I learn very quickly. But there's still failure there. I forgot that. I learn quick, but I still fail. That's inevitable. You have to fail in order to learn. I just fail maybe a little bit less. So, yeah, I'm not naturally good at everything. I have to stop thinking that I am. I have powerful ancestors behind me. I don't have the time in this video to talk about my lineage, but it is extremely, extremely significant to me now, and it definitely is going to guide my decisions as I rebuild my house. Knowing this information is super empowering. Knowing where I come from and what I've made of is super empowering. Lastly, I have to accept that I cannot be stopped as long as I keep moving. And that doesn't need an explanation. I don't think. That explains itself.